Howdy, howdy. Thought I'd go live on this Sunday. Oh, I always forget to put it on chat. There we go. And I'll try and catch it before it streams by. Because I have it at an angle that makes it hard to read. So I had the oven at 425. And I have, look at this. I have meats, folks. I have meats. We have sausages. We have rib. We have chicken wings because that's the thing. I've seasoned them. So I've got black pepper, onion powder, garlic powder, some other little herbs and spices. Yes. So these are going to go in the oven and I'm going to roast these to give them more flavor. Now, this is Alma Whalberg's recipe, but this isn't how else she does it. She just puts this stuff in kind of raw. But I want a little color. I want some flavor here. So we're going to get these in the oven at 425. And once we get that done, we're going to get the sauce going because we're going to make meatballs too. And we need the sauce hot to drop those meatballs in because we drop them raw. So those I do put in raw. And I think she may have said cook them, but no, they're better raw. They come out a lot more tender if you drop them raw and just kind of let them simmer in the hot sauce. That's what I do. Because this is, without a doubt, the most flavorful spaghetti sauce you'll ever come across. And she doesn't put any other herbs in hers. She doesn't even season her meat except for the meatballs. So, which is pretty crazy. So let me get this sauce opened up. Now I'm going to just use some crushed tomatoes. I think they use something else. This is no salt added crushed tomatoes. I've got 2 cans of that and 1 can of diced. And it didn't call for that. This is what I have. This is what I'm using. So, and the crushed tomatoes I like using anyway in my stuff because you don't have to cook it forever. It's like automatic. And so I learned that actually from an Italian woman. It's like, yeah, you just use crushed tomatoes. You don't have to cook it for hours. So I'm going in with the diced tomatoes first. I still have fresh basil out in the garden that I may put in here as well. So we shall see. It's Sunday, 1:24. I showered and put on pajamas. That's what I did today. It is a rainy, chilly day. Yesterday, I was out in the garden getting, I got a bunch of sun yesterday. Not a burn, but just a little color. Just good to get that vitamin D. It felt good being out in the sun and in the warmth because I know the winter is coming. I'm not a winter girl. I don't see how people live up north do. I couldn't imagine getting that snow blowing my driveway and going to work. I just can't. Can't imagine. So those who've done it, I salute you. I'd be hard pressed to get out of bed to face that every morning. Hope everyone's having a good one. Ah, come on, Cam. There we go. Don't want to pop I'm probably going to have to put more sauce in here. I'm looking at all the meats I have going on here. So for those who just joined, I have some meat in the oven that I'm broiling. I have ribs, chicken wings, and Italian sausage. Right now, I'm just putting in tomato sauce to warm that up because I'm getting ready to make some meatballs. Go in this sauce. Now, I make this huge batch. We're probably not eating. We're not eating this tonight. It's all going to be frozen. I don't know. I might have to make it for tomorrow night. We'll see. These cans out of the way. I might add more sauce. I think I might. I want to make sure everything's covered once it goes in. Should I do another can of crushed mushroom? I might do 2 more cans. So I'm doing another can of diced tomatoes and another can of crushed tomatoes. Oh, they're both diced. Let me get a crushed one. All right. That's what we're doing. Another crushed and another diced. Because I'll bring you over here and look in the pot. There's not a lot of sauce there, really. We've got a lot of clearance here yet. And a lot of meat to go in there. So let's add more. More never hurt anyone. In this case. You do have to watch this dish though too, because you want it to cook a while till those meats get tender. And so you have to make sure you stir the bottom frequently. I usually time it to stir about every 15 minutes. That way I'm certain that it's not going to stick. And this is looking like a better portion for all the meat we have. And when I go to freeze this, I don't know how I'm going to do it. Because I have sausage, I have chicken wings, I have rib, and I'll have meatballs. So I may just freeze a couple of meatballs. Maybe one meatball portion. And then kind of divide the others. That's going to be a lot. Even with the sausage, once that gets cut up, it'll be a lot. So of course, what do I have? I think I only have 4 ribs too. So not much at all. We've done these. All right. Now that looks more like a good sauce ratio. I think I need to add a little water though, since this is going to cook down a bit. I'm going to add about half of one of these cans of water. I'll bring you over here and show you the consistency. But since this is going to cook down some, I need to get that going. So I'm going to put this on medium high, because by the time I get the meatballs done, it isn't going to take long. I want this hot. Let me just go ahead and put it on high. use my hand as a spoon rest. So now I'm going to go to making the meatballs. So I already put some pepper in here. I'm using lean ground beef and just ground chuck, which is a 80-20 for flavor. And then to my bowl, before I mess with that, I'm going to put some onion powder. I'm going to be kind of liberal here. About a teaspoon and a half. Onion powder. You can use dried minced onion in here if you want. I'm going to put some garlic and herb seasoning. It's salt free. I like this stuff. Same, I'm going to put about 1.5 teaspoons in that. And I am going to add I have these dried minced onion. They're handy. I do have an onion fresh that I could use, but these will be fun. So yeah, I have the black pepper in there. I'm going to add some Parmesan cheese to this. So I'm not putting any salt in this. It's going to have this Parmesan cheese, which is pretty salty. And then I think even the breadcrumbs, they have 390 milligrams of sodium in 1/4 cup of breadcrumbs. So stuff you don't think has sodium, you think, oh, it's just breadcrumbs. But it's crushed breadcrumbs that has a lot of sodium. All right. And then we're going to add some egg to that. Putting stuff away as I go along. One egg. Smells fine. All right. Let me wash my hands. I hear that tomato sauce is already bubbling a little bit, simmering. So that's good. By the time we get to rolling these, rolling, it'll be good. Hands real well. So I'm about to dig in. So you don't want this boiling when you go to put your meatballs in. You do want it hot. See, just that one little spot was simmering. No, it's already coming to a boil. All right, let me turn that down to around, this meat's kind of cold, so that's going to bring the temperature down. Let me leave it on about a little higher than medium for now. And then once we get this in there, it'll cool it down some. Then once it heats up, I'll turn it down again. That's good. All right, and mix this egg in with our other stuff. Maybe I should put 2 eggs in. 1 egg per pound. I think so. I've got a lot of mix here. I don't want it to be too dry. Y'all cook by eye, or do you like measuring things? I've made this a few times before, but I'm actually adding, I think, extra meat. I don't know, maybe not. I can't recall what the recipe does, but like I said, I change it up a little bit anyway. That's because I like more flavor than the original recipe has, which is fabulous, by the way. Just making it straight. I've done it both ways. I've made it straight, the way the recipe calls for, and it was good. I mean, it was the best spaghetti sauce I've ever had. Took me back to my childhood, where our neighbor was Italian, and they made the most fabulous, flavorful sauces. And my favorite was a chicken sauce that they made. It was so good. So what are y'all doing this weekend? Staying warm, I hope. Can't believe New Mexico and sorry about the fort. Sorry. Can't believe New Mexico and Colorado already have snow. That's insane to me. I couldn't do it. Couldn't do it. It'd be hard for me to live in a northern climate and be happy. I like being able to garden year round like I can do here. Yesterday we did some more stuff in the garden. Got the green stalk going again, which is good. I'm going to plant tomorrow, I think, if it's not too wet or too rainy. So, do y'all have food? Do you grow gardens? I love gardening. So peaceful, meditative. Mm, mm. Good for some exercise, vitamin D, all of this, all of that. Great food, organic food. You know what's been I'm washing my hands before I get them dirty, making meatballs. Check our sauce before we start dropping meatballs. It's looking good already. All right, here's the meat. I just have to mix this. I'm not doing ASMR. Not intentionally. I promise. That's where all the flavor is. Still trying to incorporate this Parmesan, egg, and breadcrumb mixture in there well. My stuff there is getting smelling good. So I have all kinds of meat in the broiler, not in the broiler, in the oven, roasting at 425 degrees. I have ribs, chicken wings, and sausages, Italian sausages. I want to get some color on for some more flavor. And that differs from the original recipe. Oh, looks like we're fully incorporated here. It's looking good. You can see the cheese is spread throughout. Breadcrumbs are being absorbed. I don't know, I'm tempted to put just a touch of thyme in there. Just does me nuts. This recipe really didn't have any seasoning. It's crazy. That's why I'm adding. Add a little Italian seasoning on the meat that's in the oven. I added Italian seasoned breadcrumbs, and I'm going to add this thyme. Some thyme leaves in this, but not many. You really want the meat to shine, though. Kind of what this is about. And I'm going to throw some crushed red pepper in that sauce because we like it. All right. So stir my meats one at a time. And we're going to start dropping those meatballs right into the sauce. Let me bring you over here to the sauce. Let's turn those red peppers. It'll thicken up, definitely. And those meats will absorb that sauce. Let me tilt this up a little bit. Oh, there we are. Bring me closer. There you go. So I'm going to make some decent sized meatballs. I like to pinch them to make sure there aren't any cracks in them before I drop them. See a crack, close it up and roll again. You don't want to risk your meatball breaking. In goes one. It'll be interesting to see how many we get out of here because these are pretty big. But like two of these will be, a serving, 3-ounce serving. But yeah, those are really going to flavor the sauce, and it's going to make the meatballs tender. That was Chris. He's in the living room. So, mm, so looks nice and smooth. And it's done. Oh, there's a little. Oh crap. Let's just make sure. So that's 3 in. And these will probably shrink a bit too. Mhm. Mhm. It is 146. So yeah, that'll give. I'll probably turn this off around 5. Let it cool down so we can bag it. Alright. This one looks good. Trying to stay a consistent size. As it's warming up, as the meat's warming up, it's getting much easier to roll. Yeah. Uh, yeah, I have a skit in my head that I want to do. I think it's time for another skit. I need to write it on my calendar so I remember to do it. So far we have 2, 4, 6, 8, 9. We got to 9 meatballs. It's going to be number 10. Trying to think how many we'll need for dinner and lunch. I think 8 or 9 per freezer bag of just meatballs. And then I have the sausages. I may still add tomato to this. I mean, I've really got a lot of meat going in here. So what I do when I usually buy ribs at least once in the summer. So when I do that, I go ahead and cut off 4 ribs just for this recipe. And then I hold on to it till winter. So I'm kind of a seasonal cook. You won't find me making this heavy dish in the summertime. This is winter fare. So um, yeah, I'll just cut off part of the ribs and freeze it. So they're handy dandy. And then I buy, if I can find stuff on sale, I'll buy it. But this is the only time probably that I'll make this recipe this this season. But I'll have probably a good 6 meals out of this to get us through winter. And that's a lot actually. I might have some going into the spring next year. Mhm. All right. I've lost count. Where are we? 3, 6, 9, 12, 13, 14. It's like we might get 18, which would give us 2 meatball meals. Take a pinch of this out. Just a pinch. Mm. So you see a little crack like that. I like to just pinch it out just to make sure, then roll it. Do another inspection. It looks good. And then drop it. Drop it like it's hot, even when it's not. 'Cause YOLO. Mm. Here we go. Last couple of these. See, there we got a little depression. So pinch it, off it, turn it, squeeze it, rock it. Uh, What is that game? Even? The bop it. Mm, that looks better. No cracks. Uh, That's a perfect. Might be able to get 2 more. Oh, I think so. Meat in between. There. Wow. Um, all right. doing good. I need to check and turn that other meat. As soon as I'm done here, we will tend to that. That's where the good stuff is right now. I mean, this is good too. Should I do a bigger meatball? Oops. Obviously. All right. So I'm actually filming a video after this. I promised a girl I met in Florida, Tori. Hey, Tori. I promised her I'd make a vegetarian meatloaf. So I'm going to be filming that later. I don't know when it's going to go on the channel. But yeah. All right, another beautiful meatball. Dropping it like it's hot. All right. Take this. Come back and sanitize there. We're moving right along. Oh, it's so gloomy out. Oh, I didn't think we'd have this much rain. We need it though. We've been in such a drought. I harvested my sweet potatoes yesterday. They were dry. I don't think it's going to take them much to cure. Yeah. After messing with me, I love washing my hands in super hot water twice. So sorry. I know I'm taking a while, but all right, let's take a look at this. What have we got? Got meatballs. So they're looking delish. So I'm gonna dunk them. Ones that didn't submerge. Oh, they're gonna be so good. All right. I'm just gonna let those cook. While those cook, let's check out what's in the oven. Let's see. A little bit more boost downward. Let me wipe this down real quick. Smelling good already. Smelling so good. This is a perfect dish to make. And like I said, we'll get several meals out of this. So this is a perfect day to make batch meals, in my opinion. And cooking videos for y'all. So when we have bad weather, it's going to be cooking videos for me. So yeah, let's take a look at our meat from the oven. Here we go. Oh yes. Oh, nice. Look at that. It's looking beautiful. All right, since the meatballs are in, I'm going to turn this down to low. Just let this cook on low. A little sausage. Look at that color on there. It'd be a shame to just dump this in the pot and not get color on it. And I'm going to cut those up before putting them in the pot. Oh, yeah. The rib meat has a little something going on there. Chicken wing stuff. IRL cooking. I guess I should have earled that. If I wait 5 minutes, I'm going to wait and let that cool, and that should let those pop right up. In the meantime, we've got our sauce going. So we made meatballs. I made meatballs, put those in tomato sauce. Just put crushed tomatoes. I put in diced tomatoes. 2 cans of diced tomatoes, 3 cans of crushed tomatoes. And I don't know how big the stock pot is. Probably a 12 quart. But it's going to be like 3/4 full once we dump this meat in. So we have Italian sausage that I'm roasting. We have a bunch of chicken wings. 6, 10 wings. And we have these ribs here. I have 4 ribs. All right, it's coming up a little easier. Whoa, come on. Whopper. All right. Let's put this other side. Put these back in. The other side won't take as long. It's pretty well done already. I just want some more color on those ribs, definitely. So we'll get those going. That's pretty much it. Look at these meatballs. They're already getting dark. I know this light's crazy. Let's see what it looks like if it's not. Oh, it's a meatball. So yeah. Oh man, it smells so good. Smells so good. So this is what I'm wearing. We wait for that other to I put my pajamas back on. They look thick, but they're thin and they're super soft. Like I'm at the thrift store, so whoever donated those, I appreciate it. And then look, this is our dreary, wet day. Yeah. So I hope it dries up enough tomorrow. I'll try and get some stuff planted here and get the snap peas planted. In fact, I still have not put those in water. I need to get that done. So yeah. We'll have a bunch more tomatoes to harvest soon too. Got these still hitting it. Some of these I can freeze today for sauce later. And those cherry tomatoes, I'll probably use those for salad tonight. Anyway, hope you're staying warm. I can't believe we still have a lot of leaves on the trees. So it's pretty crazy. Can't believe I'm still harvesting vegetables at this rate. So, all right, pull you down, around. Let's go back. Oh, yeah, that's like sizzling. I should just probably put the broiler on. That's okay. Because I don't want to put too much weight onto the sauce and the meatballs until they get fairly firm. We don't want to crush them with the weight of all that other goodness. And I'm going to let that other goodness cool off before I put it in. But yeah, believe it or not, that's basically all you do with the sauce. Now I'll taste it later, see if it needs anything else. But this is at the point where you'll also start timing it. Like 15 minutes, you want to come in here, you want to stir it. Do you want those meatballs, like I said, you want to get those firmed up a bit? Uh, the last I put in were over here, and they're looking pretty good already. So, and this is really a lot of moisture in here. So, let me just do a quick stir of the bottom. And then we'll come back in 15 minutes. Stir it again. And actually, I said this wouldn't take long. It's not taking long. See how much color. The ribs probably are going to take the longest. I'll have to let some of it cool before I can deal with it. Look at those ribs. Oh, look at that. It already has color on it. Wow. These have way enough color on them. And the chicken does as well. What takes the longest here is the stick it again. Takes the longest here is the ribs, even in the sauce. So, what I might do is just cook these whole. Let me get these off the tray now. I mean, they're cooked. And I'm just going to put in the chicken wings. Because when this cooks, you want the skin will be pretty much disintegrated. Now it's pain because you do have to take the bone out. But that skin is going to add so much flavor to your sauce that you're going to be like, wow, why haven't I been doing this? Because it's really amazing. All right, so there are the wings. I'll get any of these little pieces off, especially the ones that are browned a little bit more. It'll be worth it. Hey, wings aren't cheap anymore. It's crazy. And I hope that was not cartilage. I'll just take that out. Mm. No, the skin. Delicious. Crispy chicken skin. Mm. All right. I think I'm going to put this on broil. That'll make it really quick. Oh my gosh. It smells so darn good. All right. Let's see. Cancel. Well, because I'm ready to be done. This recipe. It's going to take hours to cook yet. So it's not something you do when you're in a rush. Like I said, this is a great dish to make ahead and freeze. I said this and a salad is all you need. It's crazy good. But it takes some hours to break down all that meat and stuff. Mm-hmm. Yeah, so crazy good. Everything in there is sizzling again. I have not eaten yet. I'm hungry. I'm gonna have to eat something. Maybe I'll just have an apple. I haven't decided what I'm cooking for dinner tonight. I have these leftover potato and carrots. I harvested carrots yesterday. So I have some yellow and orange carrots, potato and onion. I roasted them like you would a roast beef, just in some beef bouillon and some olive oil. It was delicious. I had those for lunch yesterday. I think I just stopped by. I'm going to watch this. It is a little greasy. But I got more, a little bit more color on that. See, it's popping. So that'll work. Ah, yes. And I like doing this too because it does reserve some fat. Because believe me, you're not missing anything fat wise in this recipe. So any additional fat is really unnecessary. I'm going to take this now. I should do is chop those ribs in half. That'd be even better. I have the knife to do it, but I'm going to be on the fast side here. Mm-hmm. Well, all right, it's just a piece of. So those are my ribs. They're going into the sauce. All right, that's it. And you cook it for like 3 hours. There you go. Take a look. And you can see between the meatballs, remember we have like 18 meatballs in there, so that comes up to about here. And then we top that off with chicken wings and ribs and sausage. So this pot is it's gonna make like 9 quarts of sauce. So that's gonna be several meals. I'm looking forward to it. So I'm gonna sign off here. I've got another recipe to film for my friend Tori. And yeah, hope you have a good one. Hope you're staying warm. Hope you're doing well. And hope you take it easy. Oh, there's Renee. How you doing, girl? I'm so glad I caught your live today. I can't believe you're up. I can't believe you're not napping. Have you had a nap? I hope you have. I don't know why my thing's showing military time. You never know what you're going to get with the restream. Yeah, it's a lot of sauce, but it's a lot of meat. Ribs, chicken wings, sausages, meatballs. Like I said, I like doing this because, today's a good day to do batch cooking. It's ugly out. And so, yeah. I'm in my pajamas cooking. Look at this. I got this at my last thrift store thing. It's really super soft. But I don't know. I think it's pajamas, but it kind of looks like a jogger because it has this tie thing at the bottom, which I put on the loosest thing. Still the clinic girl. Did you get a nap? At least in the chair? I hope. Or are you studying French? Have you eaten today? You eating good, Mama? I saw a thing today on how to wash strawberries from this professor at some university, and he was saying uh, vinegar and or baking soda in water. He said we'll get all that residue off. Yeah, I was curious to what they said to do with your stuff because of that. Because I know you have certain procedures you have to go through, and I've heard that the vegetable washes are ineffective, but he was saying you could use them. But good, good. Oh, good. A 2-hour nap sounds delightful. It really does. I'm glad you're eating well. You're getting some of your taste back? Your taste buds improving? Speaking of food, I need to find something. I said I was going to make a Dutch baby today. I've never made one, but I love them. And love a Dutch baby, but I've never made one. And then I slacked off and didn't make it. Finally, I got some apples at Publix. They look like they were banged around. They look a mess. I'm not gonna ask you too many questions, but I don't want to make you type too much. Oh yeah. So I'm gonna sit down and have an apple before I pass out. It's the crack of two. I've been up since 6:30, editing, doing all the stuff, you know, getting those videos out there. Oh, vinegar and baking soda and rinse twice. Interesting. Interesting. They're probably not a bad idea. It's great though that they have a scientific method for washing vegetables. We should make that a standard practice in all of our food, I think. As I eat an apple that I didn't vinegar or use baking soda on. These are gala apples. These are like the worst tasting gala apples I've ever had in my life. Maybe I just haven't had them in a long time. Are gala apples supposed to be soft and kind of dry? I thought they were crispy. Hmm. It's very disappointing. I like Honey Crisps. They have so much sugar in them though, but they're really good. Mhm. So Renee, did you pack a lunch? Is that what you do since you're there all day? I mean, holy cow. You've been there since 7-ish? A lot. That is certainly a lot. Sorry, I mean, I had to eat. Huh. Hope you don't have that, what is it? There's a thing where you can't stand with somebody eating. I wanna say it's mesothelioma, but that's a cancer, isn't it? One of those asbestos cancers. Ugh. Mm. I'm gonna add some protein to this and peanut butter. So if you eat peanut butter, are you a crunchy or a smooth person? I'm crunchy. I like a little texture. I find texture more satisfying than soft food. Like, yeah, mashed potato hits, but mhm. Oh, yeah. Yeah, I was thinking about boiling some eggs the other day. I haven't had boiled eggs in a little while. Do you ever do anything different with your, deviled eggs? Mhm. 'Cause I've had them made with green olives chopped in them, which was nice if you like that super briny flavor. I've also had them done with capers, and that was interesting. Again, super briny, but, yeah, those were interesting versions. And then there's this chef, Alex Hernandez, he was in Chambly, and he did deviled eggs with candied bacon and all that stuff. That's a lot. But what he did was my favorite, Renee. You'd probably like this because I think you like spicy too. I can't remember. Mhm. Yeah. Yeah, it's fun to do. But he did chorizo stuffed dates. He made a tomato sauce on it that went with it that was a little bit spicy, and he did, goat cheese on top of that. That stuff was so good. I could make a meal just out of that dish, and it was an appetizer. And a side salad, I'd be happy. Mhm. I did not grill too much this summer. It was, like, either rainy or hot. It was really bad. But I have a pork butt in there I need to smoke. I don't know if I'll get to it before January, but I don't know, we'll see. I heard that's the thing. It takes days to thaw, and then you need good weather to smoke it, or it'd be nice to have good weather to smoke it. No, it was goat cheese on chorizo stuffed dates. So you had the spicy, the sweet, and then it had a tomato sauce for a tartness, and then that goat cheese. Mm. The goat cheese on eggs sounds good. I'd eat it. I would definitely eat it. I like goat cheese and beets. Mhm, mhm. My beets did not do well this year. I need to do a winter planting. Mhm. I have some chorizo in there my neighbor gave me. I need to do something with it. I might have to do those. But, I think he made the chorizo into, like, almost like sausage shape and then split the date and laid it on top. I think is how he did those, and then I guess he cooked them in the sauce, the tomato-based sauce. We did a good job of it not burning with the chorizo, and the sauce didn't look fatty. I didn't see a ton of grease from the chorizo, but he may have made his own chorizo too. Mm. He was a chef that was in the, what was it, Cutthroat Kitchen? And he was probably the most abused chef, and he just took it all in stride. I think he ended up winning anyway because they tried to take him down and he kept winning. I know he had to make a meal out of a had to make a bento box meal out of a tuna sandwich or something. Yeah, Alex Hernandez or Alexis, Alexis. But I don't know what he's doing now. I think he got married and ran away. I know his family had a farm in Kentucky, so maybe he went up there to do like a maybe he's doing a food to table farm type thing. Hmm. I love dates. We were talking about what to make for Thanksgiving. My mother-in-law wants to try a spatched cock turkey. I was thinking maybe just Cornish hen would be fine. But I was thinking I want Moroccan Cornish hen with cinnamon and honey on it with uh, apricot and almond couscous. Ran away. Yeah. Hmm. Hmm. So how much longer are you going to be there, Renee? I mean, at least today you don't have to deal with 5 o'clock traffic, which is crazy. Can't believe it. Hmm. I don't know. If I had a farm in Kentucky that was, and he said it was productive. They were growing vegetables and stuff. I'd be there. I know. I should stop talking about it because you've got a one. So rude of me. Uh, oh, so it's almost coming up. Good. Good, good, good. Then you're out of there. Do you nap on the way home? Oh, shoot. Girl. They do your blood work every time you come in? Was it all good? except obviously probably a little dehydrated. Can't drink that water. Mhm. I have to drink 64 ounces of water. And that was hard on the Margaritaville, because the water did taste like Florida spring water. Yeah, I know. But, you're still gonna get asked if you're driving while doing your lives. That kills me. It kills me. Oh, I have a drive video, and I think made Chris show my hands that I wasn't, like, filming, that I was actually driving and somebody else was filming, because I think of that every time now, because somebody blasted me for that. And it was a camera. Chris had the camera. I was driving, and, he videotaped a vintage car, and some guy blasted me for filming and driving. "You're the reason my interstate's messed up." You're the reason things are messed up, dude. Like, shouldn't just assume things. Uh, yeah. So I guess that's how they caught that you needed fluids. I mean, I drink a minimum of 64 ounces every day. And if I have wine, a glass of wine, I try and drink an extra bottle for every glass of wine I have, which these days one, and I'm ready for bed. Hmm. Yeah, I kill it on the water. It doesn't mean I don't have acne still. Yeah, mm, my hormones are hormoning, I guess. I'm 61. You'd think it'd be over with. Heck, I went through menopause at like 35, 36. I was young when I went through menopause. Luckily, I had the stamina to handle it, even if I was tired a lot. I didn't get hot flashes or anything too much. I just naturally sweat a lot. My glands work overtime. Oh, yeah. Ah. So deviled eggs. You're gonna eat something more for dinner though, aren't you, Renee? Hopefully. Oh, that protein's good. That'll be breakfast for tomorrow for me. That's what I was doing. I was making deviled eggs and then eating them for breakfast. Thought about making some ramen egg. I'm so impatient. I guess it's kind of cook them, throw them in there, and forget it for a few days. But it's those few days that's the problem. Where my patience runs out. Have you ever made anything like that, Renee? You had the ramen eggs? I thought Hunter'd be in here. He must have had a late night. Oh, I need to watch, so you wanna watch something crazy fun, but it's NSFW. Um, the Jammy Awards on Camp May happened last night, and it's kind of based on music, but he also, gives awards for best comedy and stuff like that. Best use of green screen, best wasn't best female vocalist, they called it best golden voice, and it was all female, singers. Uh, yes, with barbecue chicken. Yeah. Um, But that was last night. This is 2024. Oh, there you are, Hunter. I didn't even have to say your name 3 times for you to show up. Now, if you're Chris LeClaire, Chris LeClaire, Chris LeClaire, that'd be different. I haven't seen LeClaire lately. I don't know if he's doing something with his own channel or not. Mhm. Yeah. Yeah. So you doing okay, Hunter? I was getting ready to bug out of here soon. Renee has 20 more minutes before she bugs out of there. So glad, Renee. So glad you're getting out of there. At least it's not 5 o'clock, right? 2 this morning. Yes. There you go. There you go. Yep. So I'm still going through our trip videos. I don't know when I'll catch up to real real life videos. Probably not for a while. And we've got holidays coming up. So I have a couple of things to go through too on the holiday. Follow up doctor appointment on my eye. This will be my second follow up. So uh, that should go well. Chris has to drive me again. I feel old now. I have to be driven. They have to dilate my eye, and I don't feel comfortable driving with a dilated eye. And my eye is still, it's a little bit better, but yeah, that cataract is still a problem. So Chris said what he knew somebody or his cousin knew somebody that like within 4 months it accelerated that quickly after the surgery. We'll see what happens. We'll see. But I can't drive at night anymore. I know. I did pretty well driving it back from Florida at night. So I did all the driving in Florida actually. Uh, did you drive at all? Nope. Did you drive one night like back to the hotel or something? No? Drove to park the car. You parked the car. Okay. Thank you. So yeah. But normally it's what we do. Because he drives all year, back and forth to work. So huh? 30,000 miles. 30,000 miles a year. 60 times 5 times 50. Yeah. So I do 3,000 miles a year. A little bit more than that. But that's because of the trips to Florida. If it weren't for the trips to Florida, uh, my vehicle, it just turned 30,000 and it's a 2020. What year is the car? It's a 2020 model. Yes. 2020 model, yeah. With only 30,000 miles. So pretty good. Should last me a while. I hope. It's always been my car was a traveling car because I generally commuted less miles. I always had less mileage on my cars because I was either, running business from home or had a short commute. So most of the time I had a very short commute because I lived right up the street from where Renee is. Mhm. Lived on one side and worked on the other. So Well, what have I got going on? I gotta shoot this other video. I have not had a day like October was crazy and crazy, crazy busy. And I just never had a down day. And then I've not had a down day yet this month. And of course, I edited this morning, put out some videos. Oh, Hunter, did you see my karaoke? You don't want me singing karaoke. Oh gosh, I tried to do sing the locomotion, but I thought it was the original version, and it was some girl, Kylie something or other, and I'd never heard it. I was like, "What the heck is this speeded up crap version?" I was so irritated. I couldn't keep up with it. And the karaoke was so bad on the ship. I will say that about the Margaritaville. They need to do better with karaoke because they had one list of songs with the numbers. It was in order by number that they had to select. And so you'd have like a rock song, then a folk song, then a Christmas song, then a religious song, then it's in like no order. And they had no light. So the guy was shining his flashlight on the list so people could read it. I don't know. It was crazy. If they had it by genre, that would have been great because like this one couple, she was singing only 90s stuff because they were pretty young. So she was probably singing stuff from her childhood that is to her classic rock. And then she had a really good voice though. Then her boyfriend, bless his heart, he went up and did a duet with her. Um, but yeah, it was hard to find songs. It was so then it just got stupid. I think it got to the point where people were just picking songs they didn't even know. Yeah, I wasn't just dancing, I was singing in that one, wasn't I? Oh, that no, that was a long video, I think, or was it a shorter one? Oh. There's a short out there of me singing karaoke. So, yeah, I put it out there. Now the world can see me being a fool. So, yeah. Yeah, I got in that conga line. Like, why not? Why not? I'll probably never ever get in a conga line again. But you never know. You never know. I'll definitely never limbo again. Yeah, Chris did fabulous. In fact, I had those bands and we both had them on. Now I've been sailing in the Keys on a small sailboat for like a week, never got sick. I've been on 54-foot trawler yachts, never got sick. And that was going like more out near Cape Canaveral where it got a little choppier. Never got sick. So I've been around boats, all my life, skiing or some ocean, some sailing, a little bit of everything. Um, but I kept my bands on much longer than Chris did, just to make sure, because the boat was really rocking. But it was great. It was some of the best sleep I think we've had in a long time. It was crazy. We were in bed by 9 o'clock. It's sleeping hard too. I should have looked at my Fitbit reading to see how well we slept. But yeah, he took his bands off early because you do have to wear them kind of tight, and he was fine. So yeah, so I don't know. There might be some more cruises around the corner. There might be. I really didn't want, Margaritaville gets slammed a lot, but we were perfectly happy. We didn't do any of the excursions. Bermuda's a little bit more risky. I think it's a level 2 with the State Department. Can't recall. Um, but uh, but yeah, we were fine staying on the ship. It was perfect. There's hardly anyone there. And then doing it midweek cruise, the cruise was not even full. There's no way. No way it was full. Now all the suites I think looked full, but maybe one of them, because I only saw like two other people on balconies, and there were what, like five on each side of the ship, I think. No, because those were the only suites. Our row, and then if you go right instead of the left, it would have been another row of suites. Yeah, yeah. So I don't know, but it wasn't full. It was nicely sized, not too busy. Now the busiest time we saw in like the main buffet area was when we boarded because everybody was hungry. We boarded at 11, and when we went through there, well, probably closer to noon 30. Yeah. So by the time we got down there around 1:30, the buffet was filling up, uh, that eating area. But we didn't eat on the buffet except for lunch the second day. We had our dinner. Yeah, the weather was perfect because we had 10 to 12-foot waves. And I knew because I did that live before, kind of cruising down Fort Lauderdale Beach, and there was no way you could get in the water there. It was way too rough to even probably put your toes in. The waves were really choppy and they were crashing right at the shoreline. It's crazy. So I was hopeful they would be kind of rough going onto the ship, and it was. It was the same thing. It was like 10 to 12-foot waves, small craft advisory, that type of thing. Perfect, perfect tester. Although I hear there are like areas around Spain that can get really rough. Um, but like I said, we were on top of the ship, so we really felt it. And then Chris got to experience sea legs and what that feels like. So if you've never been on a boat for a long period of time, once you get on shore, you'll find yourself wanting to like steady your legs, and it'll feel like you should be rocking on the boat when you're not. It's kind of like a phantom hand or phantom pain kind of like syndrome. It's funny that just 2 days, 2.5 days kind of on a boat, and that affects you that way. I think that's how quickly our body can acclimate to changes in our environment. Crazy, crazy. Our bodies are so weird. So weird. Oh, now we did have whoever was in the suite next to us. They must have been doing stuff to stay up all night, and they were definitely doing some other stuff that if they had gotten caught in Bermuda would not have been pretty. Um, but yeah, they were up partying and screaming all night. But we were lucky to have that wall between us and that other suite. That was a bonus. Yeah, the weather was incredibly good. It was perfect weather. Not too hot, not too cool. It's very comfortable. Yeah, well, in Fort Lauderdale, we did get rained on at the Flamingo Gardens. We got caught in a rainstorm. It felt good. I felt like a kid again, actually. It brought back, you know, kind of interesting childhood flashback memories of getting caught in the rain. It was weird too. When we were in Fort Lauderdale, West Palm was hotter and Miami was hotter. But I think the weather we got the day we got caught in the rainstorm was 77 was the temperature at 5. So yeah, it was probably 79 when we got the rainstorm. Anyway, well, I think Renee got out of here. She's ready to go home. I know. It's 2:51. So I'm gonna go. I gotta make this other video. So I'm glad to do this recipe live. I do have a tutorial out there, but once you get it going, it doesn't take long. Other than the 3-hour cooking and having to stir it every 15 minutes. Yeah, the French bakery, I'm glad it's nowhere near me. I'm so glad it's nowhere near me. I mean, there's some bakeries around Atlanta called Paris, um, but they're Vietnamese or Korean. I forget, but they're one of those. So it's not really probably Vietnamese because of Vietnamese, the French influence on Vietnamese culture and food. That's what I'm going to guess. Hey, Dan, how's it going? That was so funny. Oh, I meant to tell Chris. So yesterday, Spartan Dan, does these national days. Mhm. Yesterday was geriatric tooth fairy day. I was like, yeah, that's the fairy that takes your money for you to keep your teeth. They don't give you money because you've lost your teeth.
Well, the
Shoot.
ones that steal your dentures.
Or steal your dentures. Yeah. That was Al. Never find his dentures. Poor Al. They're probably going to be in the bed if they ever replace it, but yeah, too funny. So is it cold up there today, Dan? I know you're like laying low lately. I hope you're feeling okay. Renee may have split. She's been at the hospital all day. She's fine. She's just doing a regular daily treatment. Daily treatment. Man, she's a trooper. I say sunshine when I see her because, her smile just lights up a room. Her smile and eyes. Yeah. But she's a trooper going there every day for treatment. You don't check on a lot. Yeah, today was National White Vanilla. It was vanilla cupcake. Yeah, vanilla. It's the most bland cupcake ever. I'm not a fan, but I'm not really a fan of cakes too much. I like carrot cake. I like tres leche. I like a moist cake. Moist, moist, moist. Of course, y'all are thinking of bimbo. Isn't that crazy? I was thinking that the other day because I said moist about something. I was like, that's just crazy that every time you'll hear moist, you're going to think of bimbo. Every time. I need a word. Like, what was that from? I'm going to get you, sucker. Everybody needs a theme song. I need just a catchword. Rainy, gloomy, but went out, made some videos to wake up. Yeah. I was just saying, Dan, I haven't had like a day off where I really rested in a long time. But I showered today and then I put on pajamas because it's rainy, gloomy, and chilly here. Yesterday I was in a sleeveless shirt, shorts, out gardening, and yeah, yeah. And here we are. Gloomy, chilly. Yeah. It's upon us. I saw you eyeing that carrot cake the other day when you were in the store. And I was like, yes, that's the one. Grab the carrot cake. But you resisted, I think. You were good. Dan says hello.
Hey, Dan.
You hear him coughing and snorting back. Hey Leah, how you doing? How you doing? Is it doomy and gloomy up there too? It's just been crazy weather. Crazy weather. I just cooked this sauce live. I have the recipe online, but I changed it, of course. Hers is so bland. It is. It's bland, but it's the best bland tomato sauce you'll ever have. But I doctor mine up a little bit. Yeah, today was beautiful. Or yesterday was beautiful. I was just saying I was out in short breeches, not my sugar breeches, but my short breeches. Some cutoffs and a sleeveless t-shirt working in the garden. I got hot. Not as hot as I did the day before. It was a little cooler yesterday. A nice little breeze. It was nice. I know. Camilla Stewart said she got snowed in New Mexico. She said they got like 2 feet of snow or something. It closed the interstate to Texas. And then Colorado, I know, got hit. I saw the art of floundering. I think he posted on Instagram that he was out taking a snow hike. Oh, yeah, that spaghetti looked good. I'm just freezing the sauce I'm making. We just went to Freeport, Bahamas, but we didn't get off the ship. We stayed on board. Yeah, that was recent. Yeah, yeah. I think I was just saying Freeport, I think, has a level 2 warning from the State Department. But I don't know. We've been to a lot of islands, and usually what we found on an island, there are one or two good things to go to, except the beach. You know, beaches are always good. So, yeah, but I don't know. Bahamas, I didn't want to swim with the pigs. Gosh, there's some woman that went swimming with the pigs, and believe it or not, she got MRSA or something. She got a really bad infection. I think it was MRSA. I'm thinking, yeah, you're swimming in swine poo. Of course. What do you expect? Gross. Although swimming in the ocean, you're swimming in fish poo. I get it, but it's kind of I had some time to dilute a bit. I don't know. I don't know. But poop does make for good snorkeling. The food, so the food, I was hoping I saw on one cruise where they did like an Indian cuisine. It had chana masala and stuff like that. I was hoping for that. Maybe they had it at night, but so we paid for one night at the steakhouse for the two of us. And I don't know how much that cost, but the food was amazing, really amazing. And then, oh, that's really cool, Leah. I saw where he popped up again. I need to go check him out. I haven't seen him in a while. I'm a mod for him, so I'm probably not a mod now for him, but only because I haven't hung out there since he changed his channel name. I've seen a couple of his videos, but for some reason they don't pop up. Thanks, Dan. Thank you, Dan. I appreciate it. But yeah, the cruise was great. And then, but I didn't know this. They have a dining room named Finn's. And I thought that was going to be an extra charge too, but it is not. It's sit down. You get choice of starter, entree and dessert. Now, I did not film that, regretfully. So so good, and I was hungry. But I had shrimp and grits, and they were really good, big size grits. For a starter, I had what did I have for a starter? You remember, Chris? You had the gumbo.
I have,
You had gumbo for the starter
right,
that had the shrimp on it.
now soup or
Can't remember either, but it was good. And then I had, yeah, shrimp and grits for my dinner. What did you have for dinner? A fish?
oh, yeah, I also had shrimp and,
Oh, you had the linguine, like a
Linguine.
pasta.
yeah,
You had a pasta, and then for dessert that came with that,
like the Florida,
oh, you had the Florida. It was kind of like a floating island,
yeah,
or it
meringue.
was ice cream coated in toasted meringue, not crispy, crunchy meringue, but just flamed, bruleed meringue. Oh, we booked direct through Margaritaville. It's way easier. I don't go through anybody to book any of my trips ever. Unless I've done an all-inclusive, and I'll do that. I think we've done all the all-inclusives we wanna do with them, but we've done, like, introductory all-inclusives. We did Mexico. Oh, I've done Mexico, but it was a chartered flight. It was a company business trip, but it was through one of those people that can arrange trips for anyone. And then we did all-inclusive for first trip to Costa Rica. And we did all-inclusive with a company, uh, to Dominican Republic. And the reason we did those are Costa Rica, I mean, we didn't know a lot about it, and, I mean, it's really a beautiful, great country. I mean, hands down, my one of our favorites. And then, for Dominican Republic, kinda obvious reasons, like, there can be iffy where you go and what you do there. So, and the reason I selected these all-inclusive groups is they send a travel agent with you. Have employees, they're chartered flights with Delta or whoever, but they have an agent that goes with you. They stay on the property. If you have any problem, you contact them. They've already vetted, um, because safety standards are different in this country and other countries. They've kind of vetted the safest, most reputable tour companies, and that's what they offer. That's what they sell you. And so if you have any problems, you let them know and they take care of things. So I felt safe in those 2 countries having somebody like that nearby. And actually, when we went to Dominican Republic, the guy that worked for the company locally, because they have the guy that flies, they fly with you, they stay there, they are your main contact. But they have other people that can answer more detailed questions about the country once you get there and about the tours. So it turned out that the guy in Dominican Republic that had more details and lived there, he actually grew up here in Gainesville, Georgia. So we had that in common. So he was great. But we just feel safer. But I think those are the only tours to any country, like, um, where we've used a advisor group, whatever, to order from. Mhm, exactly. Like, in Dominican Republic too, like, we did not leave the property except to go on the one tour because we were there, what, 3 or 4 days? I think it was a 4-day, 3 nights, in February. It was it sucked coming back home. It really did. It was so cold and wet. But, um Yeah, I mean, I felt way more comfortable. If I was a single woman, I'd definitely wanna travel that way. So, all you have to do there to travel know you're traveling safely, though, is you go to the State Department. And the US State Department, they tell you what goes on there. If it's petty crime, they or don't advise you going out at night. So I was gonna go visit Traveling Eddie this month, and oh, I saw something else there. I was gonna go visit Traveling Eddie in December, um, but then once I looked at the State Department stuff, they were like, "No, like, it's a level 4." They've had a now it's been guys picking up prostitutes that's been the problem, mainly. Well, yeah, that's been the problem, but every day there's been a tourist killed that has gone there for, hooking up. So, which isn't good, but I just felt it wasn't a good time to go. So, and it was happening in the parts of the city we would have stayed in Medellin. So, but that'll change. They'll get it under control. I'm pretty confident. So, yeah, I don't know. The more you travel, the easier it is, I think. And like I said, we don't go out much at night. Now we did in Fort Lauderdale because, you know, just our timeline of, I guess, getting back to the garden, going back to the hotel, then going up to eat, all that. So, so we did go out late that night and we came home a little late another night. We did barely just had sundown, but we're usually back in the hotel at night. Also in Medellin, where we were going to stay, um, and I prefer Marriott. The where we were gonna stay was in between 2 casinos, and one of them had, like, a lot of benches out front, and I just didn't feel comfortable staying for, you know, 3 weeks where people could watch us go in and out of the same hotel. And we could have changed hotels. That would be but I don't know. Or we could just get a house, rent a house or something. And I'd feel good because Eddie's there if we had any problem, but they don't have a big grasp of the English language, but Costa Rica, they teach it in schools. So that's why we like Costa Rica has no military, college education is free, medical is included in, because you pay into it. And then they teach English in starting in kindergarten. So it's pretty easy to get around Costa Rica. I'm not saying everybody speaks English, no, especially for those who probably their parents didn't speak uh, English, probably wasn't spoken in the home. So skills are lost. Like I don't speak Spanish as often as I do, so I lose those skills. Hmm. Now there's, yeah, that's true too, but you have to like who you're traveling with. No, Chris didn't get sick at all. He did great. He did great. He took his little wristbands off too. Mm. This was interesting. So I was talking about the wristbands and using those for seasickness, and Q said that she uses them for vertigo, and they work really well for her. Hmm. Yeah. So let's go check some sauce. Let's go check some awesome sauce. There's the gloomy day today. We've needed this rain though, really, really badly. I'm still getting tomatoes. I'm still getting a lot of cherry tomatoes too. I just froze a bunch more things. tomatoes and stuff. There's a sauce. It's a big old pot of sauce. Look at that. It has ribs. There's a meatball. Mm. Got some chicken wing. Got some. Where are they? They're hiding. Where'd they go? There we go. Got some sausages in here. Telling you, man, this stuff is full of flavor. Full of flavor. Mm. Good stuff. Good stuff. Well, it's 3. I'm going to cut off here and go make this vegetarian meatloaf I promised someone. So, and I'm happy to do it because I love this dish. Michigander for life. It's expensive there. I did a cost comparison calculator. You can go on, what is it? Bankrate.com, I think, has it. And you can compare city to city cost of living. And I compared Atlanta to Detroit. It is 6% more expensive to live in Detroit than it is Atlanta. That's crazy to me. Crazy, absolutely crazy. So, yeah. I don't know where I'm going to move in my next life. If I move at all, I might move somewhere cheaper than Atlanta. But that would mean Mississippi. I don't know if I could handle Mississippi. I mean, chance of hurricane. That's the number one thing. So insurance would be high. I used to work in Jackson a lot. Jackson, Mississippi. I used to drive there for work because that's where my client was headquartered. So Jackson is like the most boring capital city, an oppressive, terrible capital city I've ever visited, ever in my life. I've been to a lot of U.S. capitals. But yeah, I don't know that I can handle living in Jackson. I mean, in Mississippi, anywhere. So yeah, I don't know. I guess I'm going to be stuck here in Georgia forever. But it's funny, like the high crime areas aren't where you think. Atlanta, they have low crime. They're like low on the list of crime in Georgia. They have like southern counties. I think Byron County or something has higher crime than the city of Atlanta. It's crazy. Crazy, crazy. So, but I feel pretty safe where I am. I felt safe in the city too. When I was in the thick of the city. I loved it there. I still miss it. Still miss living there. But that's all right. I like growing more of my own food. I was so limited there. So, but anyway, I'm going to get off of here. I'm done yakking. And, I'm going to get this second recipe done, which I'll videotape. Vegetarian meatloaf coming your way. Get ready. Hold on to your britches. It's going to be exciting. It's exciting as vegetarian meatloaf can be. Yeah, I am. I love Atlanta. I do love Atlanta. I'd like to spend some more time in Nashville, though. Yeah. Hunter may be hanging out too. He's probably watching a game and watching over here. He might be live, and he likes to go live. There are people. You going live, Hunter? Uh, all right, y'all. Take care. Love y'all. Be safe. Stay warm. I'll see y'all later.